Hello YouTube, my name is Kyle Nelson. I'm the co-founder of Phone Sling. Phone Sling is the device that holds your phone while you fly so you can watch TV and movies more comfortably. This is my Radical Candor series where I give you philosophy about my ideas, things about Phone Sling, things about inventing things, because I'm trying to help you, an inventor hopefully, or soon to be, also learn things, to take away things that from my mistakes so you don't repeat them. Repeating other people's mistakes is not a good idea. So today's video is a little bit more intimate. It's a little bit more kind of a challenge for you, kind of a homework assignment, if you will. I don't know if I'm not giving anyone homework. I hate homework. I'm just going to say this is how I come up with ideas. Let's call it that. Yeah, that's what the video is about. It's about how do I come up with ideas. It's about how do you come up with ideas, and then what do you do once you come up with a list of ideas where 90% of them are bad. At least that's my record, or that's the pace that I'm on. So I have the idea for Phone Sling, and when did I come up with it? I came up with it while I was in the middle of a flight. I was flying across the country. I live on the West Coast. I was flying back from the East Coast. And it was on a Friday after a long day of being out in the field in southern Georgia, and I had 5 hours of flying, and after the 5 hours of flying, my neck hurt so bad because I was sitting there all cockeyed trying to watch my phone and be uncomfortable and all that stuff. So the idea instantly popped in my head. Now that's not the first time I've had an idea. I've been prototyping and inventing things for a long time because that's what I enjoy. That's what I chose to, my day job is in, my career is in, stuff like that. But my side projects, the things that I kind of look at and give a fun, give that dog tilt, right? And I say, what could I do to make this better? Most of that for me occurs in the moment. It actually occurs, it's hard to admit this, but it occurs in a moment of frustration, and because there's either a lack of engineering or a lack of understanding of a manufacturer's own product, which, like, I don't know, putting an alarm on a dishwasher seems like a dumb idea, so it's like a complete disconnect because you can't turn the alarm off. It's stupid things like that. I'm like, somebody sat in a meeting and made this decision. And that's the part that makes me crazy. And when I get frustrated like that, that's when I go, I've got an idea. I need to fix this. And so for me, what I do is in that moment, I have a buddy, and him and I run another small company called TK Technologies. My name's Kyle. His name is Todd. Todd and Kyle Technologies, TK Tech. And I will text him the idea. And if he has an idea, he will text me back. And then we will text later in the day or later in the week to help develop that idea a little bit more. And then sometimes I write them down. I will write down my ideas. This is a notepad with ideas on it. And that's what I recommend. Is if you come up with an idea, write it down. Text it to somebody. Text it to your spouse, your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your somebody, the last person you texted in your phone. Just text the idea so it's out there because you might forget it later. I know I've done that. But that doesn't work for everybody. So what are some other methods that might work for you? Well, I would say get yourself in the right mental state to come up with ideas and figure out what that is. The thing that there's always stories about, like, I was in the shower and I came up with this idea. Maybe that's your happy place. I know for Sarah Blakely, who's the CEO of Spanx, she actually extends her driving commute in the morning to come up with ideas, which is kind of neat because she has recognized when her ideas come to her. And she went with that. She said, I'm going to take my 6-minute driving commute and I'm going to make it 60 minutes so that way I have time to think. Driving is kind of sometimes it can be a mundane activity if you're just sitting there going in and out of lanes of traffic or stoplights, or you're stuck in a traffic jam. Your mind can wander, and that's the key. Let your mind wander. When I used to mow a lawn, I live in an apartment now. When I used to mow the lawn, my mind would go all over the place and wander, and I would come up with some good ideas then. Maybe it's early in the morning before your kids are up. Maybe it's late at night after you're done playing a video game and your mind's coming down and relaxing. Maybe it's when you're laying in bed or wherever. But you need to figure that out for yourself. Recognize when that occurs. And then when that occurs, write it down immediately. Immediately. And then sometime later, maybe it's a minute, maybe it's 5 minutes, maybe it's 5 hours, maybe it's the next day. Write down your solution to that idea. How would that work? What would you do with it? Would it work? I've had that where I've had an idea and then go, yeah, that's not going to work at all because of gravity. I mean, there's some things that occur sometimes that when you're in the moment you don't think about. And that's okay. You're going to have bad ideas. If you think that inventors don't have bad ideas, you're wrong. They have lots of bad ideas, including myself. But most likely you will be doing some mundane activity. Maybe you're sketching, maybe you're washing the dishes, but figure that out. And then my recommendation is to do that for 3 months and write them down all in a collective place. Write them all down in a list. And then at the end of the 3 months, find your quiet place, crack a beer, make a margarita, do whatever you do, and review them. Think about them. Sit and ponder. Let your mind wander. Prioritize. Cross out the ones that you know wouldn't work because it's going to cost too much. Your idea, it might be a perfect solution, but it's going to cost $200 to make, and it's an attachment for a $20 part. That's okay. It's leading you to somewhere else. But my recommendation is to let your mind wander and write them down and review them later. And if you write down every idea, eventually you will have a good idea. And I'm not the first person to say this, but I truly believe in your lifetime and in most people's lifetime, everybody has $1 million idea. Everybody has a great idea. Everybody. It's just a matter of executing it. Now, that's all I'm going to talk about in this video because that's enough homework. As I said, I wasn't going to say that. But that's enough homework for now. We'll figure out what to do about the idea that make it, or the ideas that make it past your first filter. What do you do next, or how do you evaluate these ideas? Let's save that for the next video. I got a list. It's about 8 to 10 things that I usually do with ideas to help me figure out if it's worth it. And I'll make a list and we'll go through the list next time. But thanks for joining. If you want to phone sling, click the link below and sign up for that Kickstarter because I am itching to get the Kickstarter going. And the more popular it gets, the more followers we have, the quicker we'll get to market, and the quicker you'll have one of these or 2 of these or 5 of these in your hands. So thanks for joining. See you.